ISTV in the building. The Don in the building. The crew also in the building. Come on, let's go. Let's do this. I know it's Monday. I don't love Monday. I only love Fridays. I tell you, when it rains, it pours heavily. How we all do this? Smash the like on the video, subscribe to the channel. All right, let's get started. Let's get rolling. Oh my goodness. All right. Let's go on. All right, welcoming everybody on this show. It's called Monday Sports Review Show. You don't need the building. All right. It's all about sports. You know what I mean? Let's go there. Massive day. The talking points for today. Let me quickly tell you guys. Oh, Shaya is here. Robbie is here. Kunle is also here. Well, let's run this. Monday Sport. The talking points. Man United Hulabo. Ubla blue black. What's next? Manchester United in the mud. Chelsea also catastrophe. We'll talk about it. Far inconsistent continues. Alright. I'm telling you, Messi is cooking. Messi is hot. That's why they call him the GOAT. We're going to talk about the game of the week, the player of the week, the manager of the week, same station, same right here. And also, Robbie's going to give us the lowdown of the FIFA Women's World Cup. On this note, I'm ready, people. Yes, this is how we do it, straight up. I'm not happy, I'm fuming. If you want to talk about Manchester United, let me warn these people. Yeah, be careful. Robbie, be careful. Margaret, you're in the building as well. One love, people. Let's get rolling. Let me turn up. Hey, you're welcome to the show. Talk to me. Are you ready?
Yeah, good evening, Donna. Good evening to all our listeners and viewers. Good evening to Kunle, Robbie, Mark, Margaret, everyone. It's great to be back. My team won over the weekend. Napoli beating Frosinone. So, good start season for us.
Yeah. You can hear that. He left Chelsea straight to Napoli. He said Napoli.
Osimhen scoring goals. Picking up where he left off last season. So yeah, can't wait to take up all the action from the EPL games over the weekend, and let's get cracking.
All right, people, you can hear that from this great gentleman. I love him so much. You're in the building. All right, let me welcome this man. Robbie, what's going on, bro? Be careful what I'm doing.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to be on the show once again. Good evening to our listeners, good evening to our viewers. It's good to be here. Well, let me follow in the footsteps of Sheye. My team, Manchester City, also won. They beat Newcastle by 1-0. And it was a beautiful display from Julian Alvarez, and of course that tells you that it is 2-2 for Manchester City. On the other hand, Manchester United were humbled by Tottenham Hotspur. But don't worry, I'm not talking about Manchester United. I'm not interested. I want to talk about the Women's World Cup. It was a wonderful affair yesterday. Spain are the champions of the world, and they got the title. The match was a beautiful match to watch. For anybody who didn't see that match yesterday, I think they really missed. And of course, on that note, I say let us get cracking on the program.
All right, you can hear that from this gentleman. Robbie's in the building. Somebody's trying to distract me. Well, I can't see you. I can't find you. I can't see you. All right, Mark, are you ready? Mark, I don't know whether Mark can join us. He said he has a problem with his mic. So, all right, I can't. Okay, it's just listening. All right, Margaret, are you ready for me?
Pause it down, I'm ready.
All right, tell them, warn them, those people that want to criticize the great club of all time. Please let them be careful. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you, Didon. Of course, they can't criticize. So, sometimes United is not like Arsenal or Chelsea where
Oh,
they'll be looking for one or two small trophy. You can see Manchester Derby. City can't come and tell Manchester United we are bigger than you because the gap is actually much. They can't say anything. So United is always big, always big. Forget the fact that we lost to Tottenham, and it actually happens. It's just one of those things that happen in the game. It's either you win or you lose. Good evening, Didon. Say good evening. Robbie, good evening. It's good to be here once again. I'm so happy.
all right. Once again, welcome. Once again, Margaret, welcome to the show. Lastly, I'm telling you, Kunle is also here all the way from that great city, Oshodi City. You can hear that background. You know that it's MC Olomo's brother. I'm telling you. What's up, bro?
I'm good. I'm good. Good evening, Vidal, and good evening to everyone. Oh man, yes, it's nice to be back again. What a weekend! What a weekend it has been.
Yeah.
Not a good one for Manchester United and Chelsea, but like you would always say, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it's still the start of the season, so there's still a long way to go. The season is a marathon, not a sprint. So I wouldn't want to be getting too much worried. There's still time for improvement. And most notably, I think I am happy that Manchester United have finally come out to make an announcement
Yeah.
that they will not be continuing with Mason Greenwood. I know Manchester United fans are not happy about it. A lot of them are not, but I really think it's for the best, knowing, the charges that were brought up against him. These are not charges that you joke with, okay? And once you have been charged with something, even if at the end of the day you are not guilty, people would always remember that there was this thing that was brought against you, and it's not good for their image. So I think it's just best the clubs moves on, because there are still some doubts and all, and that's not what the club should be doing at a time when should be focusing on when it should be rebuilding. So for me, I wish Mason Greenwood all the best as he continues his career elsewhere.
All right, hold on, people. Let's get straight into this. Also, before that, I think Prof is also joining us all the way from Stamford Bridge. Yes, he went to have a meeting with those players. What are they doing? All right, welcome, Prof. What's going on, bro? I was told that you're coming in from Manchester.
It's good to be back on the show again after a fantastic second week of Premier League football. Sort of wonderful games. So yeah, we're here to dissect it. So, yeah.
All right, we are here to. Yes. We are here to dissect it. Prof, welcome. Let me quickly run what exactly we want to start to talk about. First of all, it's about Manchester United. Ula blow black. I don't really know. He's getting toxic right now in the camp. The players look lethargic. You can see the match fitness is so bad. It's nothing to write home about. Absolutely, it was shambolic performance during the match of Spurs versus Manchester United. So I'm going to start off with you, Kunle. Manchester United lost 2-0. Wàhálà ti wà o. Kunle, wàhálà ti wà o.
Kò sí wàhálà sà. Ẹ fọkàn balẹ̀.
Wonderful.
And I feel like I said, there is no need to get too there's no need to get worried, because United usually don't start very well. Yeah. So I think this is a period now for Eric Ten Hag to really reassess, the squad and all, because it's clear that maybe something isn't working somewhere. And it makes me remember last season. United lost their first two games, but from the third game, things started to change and all. So maybe he needs to tweak something somewhere. I don't know, because one thing I do know is that this defeat against Spurs really hit the players. It showed in their body language, and it even showed in the way the manager is. So I believe they'll probably go back to the drawing board. I don't know what's going to happen, but they have to start cooking up the results. There are claims that maybe they are not fit enough and all of this and all of that. But look, they are professionals. You can't, you have to bring up these results because it's not going to be good for the club. Most especially with the fact that now that this Mason Greenwood thing has come out, United need to win games because if United continue to struggle, they will continue to blame. They can start bringing that blame that this is somebody that they could have integrated into the team to improve the team and all of that. But you let him go. So United need to win so that the fans won't come and start making up these excuses that it's because of this, it's because of that. They need to. So I don't know okay, they are playing Nottingham Forest next. That's not going to be easy. Yeah, Taiwa Woni is Nottingham Forest. They are a very good side, but they just need to get a win from that game or otherwise if they don't it could be difficult, but they need to bounce back against Forest.
All right. Another person that watched the match, I'm sure Margaret watched the match as well. She did a preview of that. People, if you're watching it, you can check one of our videos that Margaret reacted on the match against Spurs. Fantastic outing right there. But I'm going to call a neutral person to talk about that Manchester United game. Nubia Prince, you're welcome to the show. Can you hear me loud and clear, Nubian? Nubian, can you hear me? Nubia Prince, you don't lose. All right, Shaye, over to you. You watched that match, right? Shaye, did you watch the match?
Yes, I did.
So please, can you comment? As a neutral fan, I would like to ask you about what do you think is actually happening with Manchester United? That would take us to Chelsea catastrophe as well, to which I want Prof to talk, and also Margaret to actually assess the game of Chelsea. If she watched it, she will let me know, or I'll ask Nubia Prince. I can't hear Nubia Prince at the moment. So, Shaye, Manchester United, we lost 2 games. You could see the players. People are saying it's the fault of the coach using a wrong player at the wrong player at the wrong place. Round peg into the square holes, and also he couldn't change the players at the same time. Then the style of play Manchester United has really not changed. You made mention of fast breaking a ball. You could see it. Is it the fault also of the board not signing the right players at the same time? Because if you look at it, Shaye, I'm sorry, you can see that when the league wanted to be, before the preseason, United got it wrong by signing Mason Mount. Is not a priority at that time. People have been saying that we signed a wrong player. We should have gone for Harry Kane. And what's your opinion on this? What's your thought on this?
Well, regarding the transfer dealings, maybe Kunle and Margaret can give more context. But from what I've observed, the Kane option was a long shot in my opinion, because we all know Daniel Levy and we know how he can be stubborn and intransigent, and his unwillingness to deal with Premier League clubs. So I'm pretty sure they would have made things difficult for Man U if Man U had tried to buy Harry Kane from Spurs. Their preference was always to sell to a club abroad, which they eventually did. The Mason Mount one seems a bit strange, because on paper he's someone who you think can add to Man U's squad and Man U's midfield, but I feel he is not being utilized appropriately. I think that's one. And two, Man U's broader issues in their structure has been a bit weird. Without the ball, they've been quite easy to play through. We saw that against Wolves in the first game on last Monday. And then against Tottenham, I think actually they had a decent to good first half. It was second half that Spurs actually grew into the game, and then they were able to nullify Man U. But in that first half, Man U had a few decent to good situations to have probably scored. They had a penalty appeal, even though I personally feel it wasn't a penalty due to the proximity. But I just feel the major issue for me is how Man U are without possession. They seem to be easy to play through. And then with the ball as well, at times, against Wolves, for instance, they had issues playing out from the back. They could not play past Wolves' press. Wolves forced them to build up down the sides, particularly through Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who is effectively Man U's weakest player in possession. So in a sense, I feel they should have should have patterns to be able to bypass an opponent's press. That's one thing. And then secondly, I feel even Onana can help in that, because we know Onana is someone who he can be a bit risky with his passing. So I feel he should be, and I know he doesn't lack for confidence. So he's someone who I feel he can be a bit riskier in his pass selections when he has possession. So so for me, the three issues I've seen with Man U: playing out from the back, pressing without the ball, and also they've not had the patterns and the connections to even create loads of chances quite frequently. So those three issues have been what I've noticed.
All right, thank you so much, Sheye, like that. Thank you so much on that. Quick one. That's for Manchester United. Let's cross over to, because we have so many topics to touch. Chelsea, I'm going to start with you, Prof. People have been saying players that already been signed. I mean, Chelsea should not have any excuse, and we all saw that match. After even one man's down, Chelsea couldn't still break the line. They caused a penalty by the highest paid player right now in EPL, if I'm not mistaken. And also, if I'm not mistaken, Enzo also couldn't score. But in your own view, what do you feel about the match? I mean, I'm sure you should you're not happy. Most Chelsea fans are not happy.
No. It wasn't a happy game. Yeah.
Is it a reaction now?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So first off, I would like to change a very weird narrative in football that usually baby football fans often they jump onto. You see, money doesn't interpret success in football.
Absolutely.
Okay, Man United have spent a whole lot of money, and they've had world-class managers like Jose Mourinho, Louis van Gaal. They've had, and then yet they've still not been able to crack that Premier League trophy ever since Alex Ferguson left, right? So this is an argument I used to make about Pep Guardiola. It's not about the money spent; it's about the work put in and how the players stick into the manager's philosophy, right? And how they implement it on pitch. Now, coming to Chelsea, Pochettino has just been only through the door. God knows, I think it's less than how many months now? 3, 4, 5 months. Hasn't had his imprint yet on this team. Most of these players are very, very new players. He hasn't really had his time. Caicedo has been there barely a week. He hasn't even played. So, look, it was a lethargic performance. The first half that I saw, Chelsea did not perform too badly. They created lots of chances. For me, they were the better side. West Ham defended well, and they did a couple of counter attacks. And for some individual mistakes by Chelsea, they lost the ball and then conceded chances to West Ham, which can happen in any game. Okay, so I don't think it's a time to panic. Like Kunle said about Man United, I don't think it's a time to panic too for Chelsea. I think these players are just starting. They've just been through the door. They would get better. The 1 billion that everybody keeps shouting, they've still not taken into cognizance the player sale. It's not 1 billion. It's not 1 billion worth of players that are in Chelsea at the moment, because we've sold a lot of them. The likes of Koulibaly and Co that were bought, we've sold some of them out. So they should dead that narrative. I think Chelsea, these are the signs that we're going to see. We're going to see some of these signs because they are still not world-class players. They are talents. They are young players. They've really not achieved anything. It's not as if we've gone out, we've just gone to buy a Casemiro or a Vinicius Junior, who are world-class players. No, these are still young players that are learning their trade, and they can only get better. What they have to do is just to work harder, take the manager's philosophy on board rightly, and for them, the only way is up. So I'm very happy about this sort of game, because this game is going to give them a reality check. They would know that there's no easy games in the Premier League. You have to be on top form all through. In the game itself, for the formation, I think Poch has to return back to his trusted 4-2-3-1 formation. I think the idea of playing Ben Chilwell at the left, up left is not working. I think he has to start integrating his wingers properly. And the likes of Mikhailo Modric, I know they are still young, but they have to now start showing the money that was coughed out for them. They have to start showing some good performances on the pitch. Likes of Modric, Madueke, Nkunku was a big miss. Jackson has to be more lethargic. You can see he's very hardworking. He's making runs. He's trying, and it's only a matter of time before the goal comes. but he has this is second game now. They now have to start performing, showing themselves. So now what I expect from the manager is to go to the training ground and drill them. Pochettino will take no prisoners. If you go there and he will drill all of them and make them learn from the mistakes of yesterday, which can happen to any team in the Premier League. So that's my summation about the game.
All right, so thank you so much on that, Robbie. Over to you. I'm sure you watched the Chelsea game. As a neutral person, what do you think is going on in Chelsea? I want your thoughts on this, because no doubt about it, people have been saying, with all the crop of players they have, they shouldn't give us an excuse. They don't have any excuse. They don't, but with Prof giving us this assumption that at least we should give them time. Do you think people will look at that? People are going to say, "Oh, let's give Chelsea time." Robbie.
Okay. Let me just quickly do this. The truth is, at the end of the season, that is more or less when the judgment for Chelsea will come. In that game yesterday, let me say, first and foremost, in their match against Liverpool, they really did well, because that match against Liverpool was a match of two halves. And Chelsea more or less were able to put something together. And of course, in that game, that was when Reece James got injured. So I would say that it was badly missed in that game. That was yesterday against West Ham. And one thing that makes the game against West Ham a little bit difficult is the fact that these are teams that are based in London. And of course, West Ham might go on to lose to maybe Brighton tomorrow. But when it comes to London teams, that is when they actually come out just for nothing else but the bragging rights. Yesterday, I think Chelsea started brightly in that game. They were unfortunate to have conceded from that corner kick that was scored by Agard. And of course, who brought about the goal? It was no other than world-famous Ward-Prowse. That is somebody who is on the books of West Ham now for Southampton. This is where I'm actually going to. I think where everything fell apart for Chelsea was the fact that, first and foremost, Raheem Sterling was very impressive yesterday. I saw the game; it was very, very impressive. And I think it's been a while that we saw Raheem Sterling play like that. But I think for the penalty, that was more or less where the whole thing fell apart for Chelsea. How Enzo Fernandez, I don't know how he contrived to not score that penalty, is just a mystery to me. But it is one of those days when such a thing happens in the game of football. And of course, with the red card, I would have hoped that, okay, Chelsea will be on their standard to get the winning goal and more or less take all 3 points. And of course, the disaster happened. You can point I think it would learn, and I think this team will be able to give us something to more or less think about in the coming weeks. Chelsea's judgment is not now. So
there's something wrong with this. Your network there is fluctuating. I'm sure you are in Ife.
See what they give.
Kunle, can you hear him?
No, see, it's breaking.
Yeah, I think it's in Ife. It's only. I'm not sure. Is it Ife?
Your is coming for you.
Robbie, can you jump out and jump in back again? We lost you there. Let's talk about this VAR quickly, because about Chelsea, we have to go into special prayers, both Chelsea and Manchester United, or we carry them go court.
No, I think Chelsea need more prayers, because after the whole 21 million, and we don't win. I don't want to know what it is.
Yeah, it's
but 106 million missed penalty, then 115 million cost penalty.
Face your market. Face your own. Especially the missed penalty.
Actually, Prof has already told us that it's all about money. Money can bring success, but I'm a little bit going to disagree.
Look, I understand where Prof is coming from, but you need to understand that we live in an era now where a lot of noise is being made. That is why even Manchester United, that's why I said it, Manchester United need to win their next game. Same thing with Chelsea, because if they don't, it will start sending wrong signals, and I feel this thing can, one way or the other, start unsettling the players, because all these things is psychological. As much as we say there's the psychological element. If they don't get a win, not even a point, if they don't get the win in their next few games, um, I don't know, but maybe a lack of confidence and all these things. And then you would now probably see where the manager start tinkering with different things. And, in the process of tinkering, it will even complicate matters, play
Absolutely.
this person here, do this one there, shift this person here, and all of that. So it will they need to get a win in their next game for
All
at
right.
least some form
All
of
right. All right.
confidence to come back.
All right, Kunle, don't go yet. You are going to start with this VAR thing again. VAR is inconsistent over the weekend. The game against Spurs, Manchester United claiming for penalty when Romero, with his hand was touched by the ball. So, what's your thoughts about this VAR? And also, I think a game against Bournemouth versus Liverpool. Kalista got a red card. People are saying it's not a red card. What's going on? I've been started the game and they've still not get it right about this VAR. What is going on? What's your submission on this?
I really don't. It's really difficult to tell, because sometimes I wonder what goes on in the minds of these people, whether those in the VAR room or even the center referees, because you would wonder that, okay, sometimes certain things should be checked, right? But they won't do anything. But they won't do anything about it, and they will just move on like nothing happened. Now, in a situation where maybe a case something is not supposed to even is not even worth checking, that's what they will now go and spend on. That's what they will go and spend almost 5 minutes looking on the monitor, when some of these decisions are straightforward and very clear. So I honestly don't know what I would say, because we always keep having this argument of, did he get it right? Did he get it? The tools are already there, right?
Yeah.
And if it is not going to be utilized, honestly, I don't know what else can be done, because the more this thing happens, the more, I'm sorry, I always keep having this theory that these things are being done deliberately, all in the name of, so that there can be a conversation. Because let's think about this thing logically. Why would Premier League productions, or let's say a Sky Sports, for instance, on their Monday preview, when they want, why would they be having a referee to be reviewing? Why would they be having one pass referee? I still do not get it. But you now bringing a retired referee, or maybe an acting referee, to come and, okay, mostly of them I think are retired, to come and be judging, or to come and be making a comment on. Sometimes it makes me think like that thing is actually deliberate. Like, these people are, they just maybe decide to either make a controversial call by maybe giving a foul, giving a red card when it should not be, so that there can be a discussion around it. Yes, they will say, yes, these people will come and apologize, but nothing will change. Yes, they can even demote a referee, right? But at the end of the day, you will still see that the quality of refereeing still does not change. So really, at the end of the day, I don't need, if they are not willing to change, I don't have an opinion on it, because it should be clearing that there have been many gaps down, in seasons past. And if you can't do something concrete to actually make it better, then it's only going to be leaving doubt in the minds of people about, how officiating, and if English referees are really, if they are really, worth being referees in the first place. So
yeah,
that's what I think of.
All right, Prof. Do you have any contrary opinion to this by inconsistent? Because it's secondly, it's theory. Yeah,
that theory is strong. I think, look, on the serious note, I think the reasons why they bring likes of Demod Gallagher to Sky Sports to analyze, so we can have insights into some of these decisions. Not everybody knows the rules. There are fans in the house watching, and not everybody is familiar with the football rules. So
Yes.
see, these referees sometimes come to put that in order, and sometimes they're honest to say, look, the referee got it wrong. And we've seen recently, the VAR, the referee for the Man United Wolves game came out to apologize. Now,
Yeah.
concerning VAR and the wrong decisions that they take, I personally think these things will not end. I think it can reduce, but it will never end. We will still see wrong decisions being made day in, week out. Why? Because it is a human being that is handling these things. And the Premier League is so scrutinized these days. It's globally watched, it's scrutinized. Anything you look at, people. Sorry to digress. People bringing out the list of Casido's errors. That minute 21, he made a mistakes pass. Minute 23. So everything is scrutinized now. Down to the T in the Premier League because there's so much involved in it, so much money, so much attention. So nobody gets away with anything. And so for that reason, we would never ever not see these errors happening. Which should I think they can just do better to reduce it, and give them more sensitization, know how to go about it. The VR is there for a reason. So I think they need to. Howard Webb is the new head of is the PGMOL now. I think he needs to He needs to keep working hard. We've seen that. For me, I think they're improving little bit by bit. It's just that these errors are being magnified. Because the Man United game, I think that was the only error we had last week where the referee did not give that penalty. I can't remember any other obvious
about the
error.
Calista.
I'm talking about the first week.
First week.
McAllister's own was this week, right? And for me, McAllister's own is a 50-50 decision. It was not clear and obvious because his foot was high. Yeah, for me, personally, I think his foot was high. So I think if he didn't give it, VAR would not have changed it because that's how VAR works. If it's not a clear and obvious error, the VAR would not change it. So for me, that wasn't a clear and obvious error because McAllister's boot was high a little bit. So look, for me, and like I said, I don't think it will ever end. I just think they can work on it and become better. And it's their job to do because they're being paid for it.
All right, let's move on to this great man. I'm still talking about the East in the building. Shout out, what's going on, bro? It's a pity you came in late to hear so many gists about what is going on in. But quickly, welcome, Ace. Can you hear me loud and clear?
On the show, man.
All right.
All
right, I can hear you very well. Yes, let's do this. Nubia Prince, can you hear me, please?
Yes, I can. Yes.
All right, Messi in the building again. Messi won the first trophy for Inter Miami. What's your take on this? This man will never stop winning. What's your take on this?
Yeah, Messi keeps shattering records. Now he's the most decorated player in terms of laurels. He now has, I think, 43 titles. That makes him the player with the highest.
44.
Yeah, Messi doesn't stop winning titles. He's shown that he can do it. He's done it in Europe. He's done it in Spain. He's done it in France. Now he's doing it in US. And I think if the competition continues, because Ronaldo too is trying to do it in Saudi Arabia, so the competition continues. But overall, it shows that Messi keeps, extending the borders, extending the frontiers. And for me, I think I don't think he wants to stop anytime soon. Really, I think he's going to set, the MLS alight, and this is just going to be the first trophy amongst many.
Yeah. All right, thank you so much on that, Nubian Prince. Let's do this once again. Let me quickly run the game over the weekend. This is the results I'm showing to the viewers. Nottingham Forest winning over Sheffield United. Fulham losing to Brentford, and Liverpool also winning. Brighton, they are flying. I tell you, they are flying. They are really flying. And also Wolves lost to Brighton, making it 2 straight in it. I'm not sure whether Wolves will go far in this. I mean, this is second beating. And also, I don't want to talk about that Spurs versus Man. Let's move on. Man City winning over Newcastle. I don't know why. I don't know why you're laughing. Please. We've said it, and let's move on. Aston Villa finally cruising at this moment, 4-0 over Everton, and also West Ham. Let's forget about West Ham. They beat Chelsea mercilessly, beautifully, and it ended 3-1. I don't care. All right. Before we move on, this we want to talk about. Let me quickly preview it on the missing Greenwood gone. I'm going to start off with you. Everybody must talk about this. Where do you think missing Greenwood will continue his career? So I'm going to start up with you, Sheye. Sheye, what's your opinion on this? Sheye, can you hear me loud and clear? Yeah.
Yes,
Over to you. What's your take on this?
Well, we talked about this on Friday's show, and we actually more or less agreed that the club wanted to bring him back. But I think the backlash, they released a statement that I personally feel was an empty statement last week. But the backlash they received by a few sections, even though I saw that a few Man U fans or some Man U fans wanted him to be brought back into the team. But there was actually backlash from other sections, other fans, parts of the media as well. So I think Man U used that statement to actually just maybe test the waters and just see how people would react to the potential news that it was going to be reinstated. So it seems they've backtracked on their initial plan to bring him back, and obviously he's gone now. But I just feel even if he leaves England, even if he leaves the Premier League, anywhere he goes to, is likely to still receive abuse or is likely to receive some it for past actions, because we even saw Benjamin Mendy and there were banners that were displayed for Lorient, I think against PSG or their game over the weekend. So it seems even if the person who allegedly released that video a few months back or a few years back, more or less walked back on allegations, it's going to follow him everywhere he goes. So I don't see how he moves on from this, because even Mendy, who was obviously acquitted, who was more or less even not guilty, he's still getting it. So I don't see how Greenwood is going to escape this wherever he goes.
All right, over to you now to Kunle. Kunle, what do you want to say about this issue right now? Missing Greenwood is out of Manchester United. What's your take on this? We also go to talk about also where do you think he can continue his career as well too? So over to you, Kunle, once again.
Where Greenwood will continue. Well, firstly, I think I'm kind of happy that a decision has been made on this, because Greenwood seems to be a distraction ever since the revelation of what he did came out and all. And we live in a time where these kind of things are very, very, very sensitive, especially to the female gender, who over the years have been victims of these very, very bad vibes from the opposite gender. So there's a bit more empowerment now, right? So even though yes, we know that sometimes some men might be innocent and all, the mere fact that one is charged really makes it difficult to prove a case. And also, the best thing is, don't let there not even be a charge against you. But once that charge came against Greenwood and he had to be frozen out of the team and all, I already knew that his chances of coming back were going to be very, very slim. I don't seem to understand how Manchester United were having so much high hopes. Yes, he has the talent, but when you are frozen out for so long, it's clearly a sign that the club is trying to move on from you. So you see, for me, I think all the decision has been made maybe as far back as last season, right?
Yes.
They already, but all for the sake of PR and everything, they try to make it look professional and all. But I think it was already done. So where does Mason Greenwood go from here? He can go anywhere, because like we've said, he's got a bundle of talent. So any club can approach him, be it in the Premier League or outside, anywhere, right? But it is now for him, right, to try to clean his image up, because being accused of something like that is very, very bad. And he has to, I'm sorry, I even have a personal problem with him in that, you have finally gotten, whether you are married or you have a child with the person who accused you, it's just conflicting. And I think Manchester United do not want to get involved in such a thing. So it's really best that he moves on. And me personally, I wish him all the very best. Manchester United need to move on from him. And I hope that they do get results now that we know that he's no longer going to be associated with the club.
All right. Prof, what's your take on this Mason Greenwood saga?
Yeah, I think I and Robbie spoke about it, last week when we talked about him, that we don't see Man United, such a big entity, accept such a stain on their on such a huge club that they are, so on their morals, on the moral standards and everything. So the way it is, I personally don't even see him being accepted in any other Premier League team, to be honest, or any other Premier League big team. I heard some people saying they want him at Arsenal and co. I'm wondering.
Arsenal, then they play now.
Who's been chased out of United? How would Arsenal want to bring in such a baggage into the club? I don't think Arsenal will want such a player in their books as well. So I think for now, maybe the best thing for him is to go abroad and just let take away the attention from him for a while, and maybe in the future, it's still a very young player. Maybe in the future he can have an opportunity to come back into the Premier League. So that's what I think.
Absolutely. Let me hear from you, Margaret. Margaret, what's your situation of Mason Greenwood?
Okay. Actually, as for Mason Greenwood, in as much as I actually feel sad that he's going, that he will be leaving Manchester United, I feel because of the stigma and the psychological effect it's going to have on him. For me, I don't know. What I actually think is either he retires from football completely, because I actually feel wherever he goes, that will definitely follow him. Okay, like Mrs. Shea said about Benjamin Mendy. Despite that the court found him not guilty, but yet they are still carrying banners, bringing up the cases against him. So the same thing might happen to Mason Greenwood, and especially if people see him and his girlfriend with the child together, they'll bring up something like that. So he himself will not be able. I'm not sure he will be able to play football that much. He will not have that rest of mind and all of that. So I feel it's either, for now, he rests from football completely. If it is something he needs to go back, maybe if he feel that he can, it is something he can, maybe he'll be able to take in all the insults, all the abuse, whatever people are throwing at him. If you know he's going to take all those things, then he can go to abroad, then start up his career again. I want to quickly use the example of Ivan Toney, this Brentford striker. It says something about him being, he's on suspension, but it's as if he is in prison and he can't wait to go back to training. Even though he'll be having training soon. Do you know why it's like that? He said FA, they need to do something that will make players who cannot take the whole psychological effect of what is happening to them. They need to organize an activity to make these players so that they'll be able to come back. So it's the same thing that will happen to Mason Greenwood. The stigma is there. So for me, he should just retire from football completely.
Wow.
That is just the best for him.
Wow.
Sorry if I want to come in, Margaret. You can't. Ivan Toney's case is nothing like Greenwood's case. Ivan Toney was for betting. I know. Yes. So, and 8 months. Even Rio Ferdinand missed 8 months because he missed a doping test. Not that he doped. He missed a doping test. And that was about the time when we signed him. So, this is a really completely different scenario. The mere fact, like you said, like you mentioned, that the fact that if Greenwood were to go somewhere else, will fans of that club want to welcome him, knowing that there was this charge against him? So, it just makes me wonder, why are people just being sympathetic? Why are they being sympathetic towards Greenwood, knowing the gravity of what he did? That these are not things that people take lightly. Okay, the major thing, if that charge was not even brought up in the first place, this guy would be playing, he'll be part of the team.
Yeah, because of our time, Kule. I want to play as Robbie. What's your opinion on this?
Well, my opinion on this, can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. Loud and clear.
Okay, my opinion on this is quite simple. I'm not going to take the side of the club or the player. I just ask this question. That for somebody who is more or less a role model, that is 1, 2, a star in the making, 3, why would you let something come between what, 1, gives you money, 2, takes you out of the trenches, 3, makes you more or less change the world in a better way? Why would you let something come between you and that skill? And that is one thing I try to teach to young guys around me, that no matter what you do as a human being, as a man, most importantly, these things have the ripple effect to more or less bring down your life entirely.
Absolutely.
I like a girl, I like a girl, I like a girl, I like a girl. Don't come and say because you like someone, you want to force yourself on that person. It is not worth it. Don't say, oh, because you have so much money, you can drive and get drunk. Then you crash your car and the person dies, or the person crashes the car and kills somebody. All these things are not worth it. And that is why I try and tell young footballers now, focus on your career. That is the most important thing in your life. Protect it as if there is no tomorrow. And for Christ's sakes, that is just, you have how many years? You have how many years of your life to play sport? Dedicate that time. And of course, I will quickly digress and talk about a guy in the NBA. For those of you in the US, you know him. His name is Ja Morant. Ja Morant is one of the most talented basketballer, but where he is right now, he has been suspended by the NBA. Why? Because he was brandishing a gun on IG Live. And the NBA commissioner told him, if you want to be a gangster, leave this place and go and be a gangster. And I told people that you think the NBA will throw away his reputation of over 50 years because of one player that cannot just be disciplined? So that is one thing I tell people right now. If you have a sporting career ahead of you, athletics, football, basketball, name it, that career is the most important thing to you in your life. If there's a party, stay away and focus on your career. Because you miss the party does not say you're going to die. And that does not say that your life is boring. But all these things have a way of plaguing one's career. The great Diego Maradona, we all know what happened to him. Because of that doping issue he had, his career went down the drain. Same thing as Romario. And we can name a lot of them. A certain Adams that played for Sunderland and Manchester City. What was his offense? Because he propositioned a minor. Justin, thank you. Because he propositioned and undermined a minor who told him that she was over 18. And look at how his career ended. I did a story on that. He lost his wife. He lost even his own family. And he's more or less like a recluse because nobody wants to associate with him. So that tells you the grievances and, of course, more or less the ripple effect of things like this. Well, for the young man, so sorry about it. But he just have to find a way to pick up pieces of his life. Just like Margaret said, he probably might have to retire and more or less look for something else to do.
All right. I'm sure he has a different opinion on that. So if people want to hear your opinion, you may mention in our group chat Asa okay now. Wait a day. So what's your opinion on this?
I never knew what I said would even and it was just my opinion though, and I don't belong to the what's it called, the director of Arsenal. And if that's the way they want to go, why not? I just feel there's something to call about upturning the apple cart. Like I said, if the cards were to be in my hands, if the ace were to be in my hands, and I'm looking at Mason Greenwood, being what's the word? Being shuddered is not the word. Being driven away by the fans, because let's look at things deeply here. The club was ready to welcome him back into the fold, but based on issues raised from one person or the other, it caused a stir, and everybody picked it up, just like the Black Lives Matters. I mentioned in the last episode that we are in a Sorosuke generation. 15 years ago, possibly nobody could have picked the momentum of that discussion, of whatever grouse anybody has, and before you know, it has a ripple effect all around the world, starting from UK over there, and the next thing, boom. I was seeing different opinions online today. Even my colleagues, some didn't want Mason Greenwood to go, some didn't. Weren't really happy that this whole thing, skyrocketed or escalated to where it is. So the question is, if that lady, one of the, I don't know if it's a lady or a guy, but one of the staff of Manchester United, if he or she had not raised anything, would anybody have said anything? Possibly this could have just been one of those things they will sweep under the carpet. Mason Greenwood continues his career and everything comes back to normal. Margaret, I understand your opinion and I respect it, but at the age of 21, because of this allegation, which the court has proved him innocent, the court of law, let's don't forget that, the court of law has proved him innocent, and you're now telling me because of this he should abandon his career and go on to other things. This is not about drugs. This is not about him being on meth or being on one heavy dose drug or him being drunk all the time. Do you understand what I'm saying? So why can't he just pick up the pieces of his life? Challenges comes in life. Challenges hit us left, right, center. But does that mean we should now bow our head down and say we're not moving on? For me, if I were to be in Mason Greenwood's camp right now, and I'm saying this with all my chest, if I were to be in his camp right now, I will be talking to his agents to see how he stays in England. Look for a club in England, possibly one of the top 6, if they are ready to take him in. If they're ready to, I don't know, maybe if they have a policy to bring people like this in, reorientate them, bring them back to normal, and, take his career to the next level. Because this happening to him doesn't mean his career should end. This doesn't mean he should just put everything to a stop and go do something else. Like Robbie said, possibly he came into this because he's a life changer. Money is part of it. Money, making money, even if you love football, money too is one of the factors because you'll be earning professional salary. So for me, like I said, it's my opinion, this shouldn't be the end of Mason Greenwood. If I had my way, like I said, it's possible for him to still stay in England. Look for one of the club's top 6, join and show yourself. Now, we're saying he should not stay in England. Are we now saying, this is a rhetorical question, are we now saying the guys outside England are the ones that are ready to accept people like this? This thing is so funny when we just judge easily. When we just say, hey, he's dead, his career is dead, he's no more in England. So are we saying the clubs in Italy, are we saying the clubs in Spain, they are the ones who have the avenue, who has the capability of accepting people like this? Let's call a spade and not a farming instrument. If Mason Greenwood wants to stay in England, he should do everything possible to stay in England, prove yourself, prove your mettle, prove that, yes, you're a footballer. Whatever happened between you and your partner was just one of those bumps in the road, and you're going to ride those bumps and move on. But it's a good thing on the side of Manchester United to let him go because, like I said in the last episode, it's going to cause a whole lot of stir, a whole lot of uproar. And it's not good for the optics. It's not good for the props of Manchester United. So it's better to cut ties with him, which they have done. But it's a pity. I wish Mason Greenwood the best in his career. And I would just want to tell him, even if he's hearing this shouldn't deter you. This is just the beginning. Take your career, take it to the next level, prove to people. You said it, he released a statement that he's a better person. He's learning. He acknowledged the mistake he has made, which all of us on this platform cannot tell me one of us is the holiest.
It's Christian.
The Holy Book says, even Jesus said it, he who has not cast the stone, he has not sinned, should be the first to cast the stone. So when I hear
Absolutely.
statements like this, his career is dead, he should move on, go, come on. I'm not going to buy it. Maybe I'm going to think differently. But like I said, if I were to be in Mason Greenwood's cap right now, I would do everything possible to steer his career. And mind you, this is another opportunity to make money. Someone whose career is dead, you rise it up again. It's a good money. A lot of people in PR will be thinking right now. And for me, I wish him the very best. Even if it's not in England, if it's outside England, I wish him the very best. Get on and get your career back on track.
All right, fantastic. I love that. I actually has brought us to so many people's different opinion. He rather stay, he rather end up his career. That's a good one from every one of us. On this note, we're going to wrap up the show. No doubt about it. Prof, who is Doku going to City? Because he said, here we go now. Who is Doku? Prof, you made mention of someone Doku going to City. Is he a Nigerian going to Manchester City?
It's a pity I came late. I had my stuff I needed to say about Chelsea, but maybe another time.
Another time. Prof, it is what it is. It is what it is. On this note, Sheye, I want to thank you so much.
Sorry, I think I was muted. Yeah, I think City have agreed a fee for Jeremy Doku in the region of 60 million.
Who be the person?
The Belgian footballer, he plays as a winger for League One run. It's an exciting winger, very good on the ball, fast, pacey. So they needed him to replace Marlon. So I think that's the one to work out.
So here we go right away. Wow.
Yeah, so because Man City is signing Doku, he's a very good player. But if it was another team that was signing him, it's an average player.
Why you like Gala like
this? Just because Man City is signing him, he's a very pacey, he's a very good player, talented player.
He's actually very good.
He's world class. Don't forget to add his contract.
Yes, he's world class. So if a team like Manchester United, Arsenal signs him, or Liverpool signs him, he's a rubbish player. He doesn't know nothing. It's only Chelsea. They know how to, categorize all this.
I guess the reason why it's like that is because of Pep Guardiola. He's a very good manager who would turn that Poco
All right, guys, I gotta go. Sheye, thank you so much for joining us on this one. Been a massive big up, bro.
Yeah, thanks, Don.
All right, Kunle as well. I'm making one show, man. Thanks, man. Kunle, one love, bro.
Thanks a lot, Don. Nice to be on the show once again. Thanks a lot.
All right, Robbie, the same. Are you in Ibadan or in Ife?
I'm in Ibadan. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me today.
All right. Bro, one love, bro. One life, one love. Thanks so much, bro. All right.
Ask
All right. Margaret, thank you so much on this one. One love.
Yeah, thank you, Don, for having me.
Yeah, I really like your video. People should check it out on one of our videos where Margaret reacts to Manchester United. Also, we'll be looking up to A's as well after they beat Crystal Palace. Hopefully tonight. Any moment from now, they should in a couple of minutes. Manchester. Arsenal will be traveling away to Crystal Palace. What's your expectations? Pick one, A's on this game. It's about to start.
Yeah, looking at the lineup, definitely Crystal Palace being, at least I'm happy that they are not sitting back and forming the low blocks. We don't know, at times, this formation at times deceives people, so we don't know what's going to happen. But I feel with Arsenal, with what they're taking there, the firepower is there. Look at the bench. The bench is strong enough. You can decide to come in, you can decide to bring in players from the bench to change everything. And I feel the sky is the limit. You just need to do the job, take chances, don't give silly mistakes, don't give silly errors, don't give the fans anything to ride on. And I think we should pick this 3 points in the bag.
All right, 3 points. That's it saying. With that, I want to thank you so much for joining us on this show, bro. One love, man. Yeah. One love. All right, people, smash the like on the video. This is how far I'm going to go. So it is what it is. Let's move on to the next one where we'll come back. I think it's going to be on Thursday for Fantasy Premier League. I'll be live with Kunle as well. And also on Friday, our preview. That's Friday Sports Preview Show. it's going to be live right here. So thank you so much. If you like on the video, please share the video as well too. It's another way to help the channel keep growing, keep growing, keep growing. All right, on this one, I'm going to say bye for now.